All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Ahia has made, in which the Most High Ahia has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. All right, all right. I'm coming with a message, and I'm hoping not to hold you long. Um, and the title is Yah said, it is clearly seen. Yah says that it is clearly seen. I want to say to you all, I have been battling uh, something this morning, and it really wasn't a battle because once the Spirit spoke, the Spirit of the Most High spoke into my spirit. I had to stand down, and I thank Him for that because that's one thing I do believe in, hearing the voice of the Most High or higher that will check me in and check me out and get me right. And I thank Him for informing me of things that is already before him and in his presence. And don't be troubled by what I am beholding and what I am hearing. He tells me, you hear well and you see well. When the Father tells me I hear well and I see well, he's saying, you're hearing it, Deborah, in the natural and as well as the spiritual. You see in it, Deborah, in the natural as well as the spiritual. So he tells me, I see well, meaning don't uh, 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 overestimate that which you see because you're seeing it both ways. You're seeing it in the natural and in the spirit. And don't estimate that you're not hearing because you are hearing in the natural and you are hearing in the spirit. So that's why he said, for thou see it well and thou hear it well. Now, with that being said, my whole idea was okay, there's a lot of things going on that I am seeing on both sides. Okay. And the good thing about both sides is a side that you know that the father holds you up with. He don't let you just be in the dark in the natural and then you be plainly see everything in the spiritual. He wants you to see everything for what it is, or else you really not, and you should not be here speaking to people and call yourself teaching people in this midnight hour in which we are in. There's a lot of people who have called themselves to positions and have upheld these positions because within themselves, within their flesh, they feel that, they are who they say that they are. And with that being said, 99.9 don't and can't see spiritual. They can't see spirit and truth, nor can they hear spirit and truth. They walking in the midst of their flesh. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. Again, this topic is Yah says it is clearly seen. And the reason why he's saying that is he don't want me to feel that I'm coming to tell him something new. You wanting to come to the throne, but it's no need for you to come to the throne, Deborah. And I'm like saying, but they keep doing, but they doing. He said, Deborah, 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 it's no needing it's no need for you to come to the throne. For what you see it, for what you hear it, all is already before the throne. And he said, remember your words, remember your teaching. I've seen this before the foundation of the world. So you bringing it to my throne it's not going to change anything. I've already seen it. I've already heard it. Okay? So I know you feeling this thing because you in the flesh and you in the spirit and you in the midst of it and you seeing it for what I have suffered you to see it to be. You hearing it based on how I have suffered you to hear it. So you see well, you hear well. So you don't have to come to the throne. I got this. And I give him praise and honor and glory for that because of the things that I have and I've been seeing for the last years. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. And then me myself get to the point where can it get any worse? Can you just come down here and deal with that right now, Father Yah? Do you hear what they saying? Do you hear what they doing? Can you come down here right now, Father Yah, and just deal with it? For what? Why should I deal with it on your hour and not on mine? Said the Most High or higher. Don't forget now. I taught you what took place before the foundation of the world. At any time, what you see today, Deborah, I could have changed it then. I could have made a difference. I could have switched it before the foundation of the world. So let it be what it is. Stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. I know it's bad in the left lane. I know it's bad in the right lane. I know it is because I knew it before the foundation of the world. But you just stay where I have you. You'll be okay. But you don't have to come to the throne because you know what? My whole idea was coming to the throne was going into the closet and pour out a cry and a heart that's off the chain. And if I do that, I knew without a doubt, bam, here he come. And he's saying, you don't have to do that this time, Deborah. I got this. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on trusting me with this. I know it's the last hour. We're running into the minutes and it's the midnight hour and they ain't gonna change. He said, what they are is what they were sent down here. That's why you can't see the change today. All you see is the sin, the wicked, the wickedness, the evil, the iniquity, and all this demonic stuff. You're seeing all of this, okay? Because it's backing in. It has to back on up so I can back on out. See, when it starts to back up, he starts to back it out. You see what I'm saying? So he just letting me know I got this here. I know you seeing it, and you all, that's comfort. I don't know if you all ever have experienced the comforter, and that's what he does. He caused me to stand down. It's the words that he speaks to my spirit to let me know I got this. You stay in your lane over yonder. I got this. The good thing is about it, I've seen three individual males, Israelite males, speak on this topic, and I one was spoken so well. I said, but this is what I was teaching or I was speaking on and teaching on YouTube. He's saying it and he's saying it so well. And it made me feel good because I was now beholding someone else who is saying it and they're saying it in the natural sense. You see what I'm saying? And it feels good to see someone breaking it down in the natural. And guess what he told me today in the water? He said, Deborah, everybody is looking for my servants to come up under the Israelites. They're not coming. Wow. He said, no, they're not coming under there because this is showing you how chaotic and wicked and evil that the children the children that says that they are the Israelites. He's saying this is how bad they are today. I mean, I know you all might say, when Deborah, why are you saying it? I'm telling you what he told me in the water. He told me that. He said, so the ones that I would be looking for, uh, uh, um, hold on 1 minute, please. Nope, I'm not going to answer that. That's my daughter. I would be looking for, I'm looking out of the house of Israel. He told me not to look. So I don't know if he means that you all are not to look, but he told me not to look because you ain't going to find them. And that's a sad thing because even me being on YouTube, I can vouch for what the Father said to me in the water today. You can't find them. You can't find people who teach in spirit and truth. You can't find people who's walking in the light, trying to find the narrow gate. Instead, they out here leading the multitude by great numbers, every place away from the bosom of Yah. Do y'all know that? They are leading people everywhere outside of the bosom of the Most High. The bosom of the Most High is like leading them to the narrow gate, leading them to the where a higher reside, meaning in His ways, y'all. In His ways, they're leading people everywhere outside of that. And I'm like, okay. And he said, I said, so what are you talking about, Gentiles? He said, yes. Yes. So don't be shocked when you hear them speaking spirit and truth. See, that's one. I'm gonna tell y'all. Since I was a little girl, that's what I learned about him. I learned that the Father in him is something that a lot of us, 99, all of us, 100 of us, is missing. Is knowing him at the level of who he is, which is a spirit. He's not down here looking at Caucasian, white, Chinese, black. In him, he see his image in people. His image and his breath of life. Then say, I ain't giving you no breath of life. Use a heathen, use a Gentile, use a Mexican, or use a Chinese, or you're a Russian. You see, that we as a people have created him to have a mindset like unto humans, like unto a man, to where we can't accept that he don't rumble like we rumble. We flesh, we male and female. We got to stop making him what we want him to be so that we can continue to deceive many that he's only can be one way, and that's this way, the way we said that he is. So when he's telling me, he says, so don't be shocked to find others from other nationalities speaking spirit and truth. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. He said, what are you talking about? I'm like, wait a minute, you mean that's for, but even though I was saying, hold up, let me tell y'all something. I always thought that for years. I mean, probably 50 years. I always thought that. I didn't think that the Father saw us in the flesh as color and race, and that's why he tells me that the whole house of Israel is lost without a cause, and lost without a cause. Now he ain't talking about those he didn't mark. He ain't talking about those that his small remnant. He's saying the whole house, meaning when he said the whole house, he's telling you the majority, and they're only a very few that's not. He's saying because they want to teach him to be like a flesh of a man, and even trying to make us as women see him to be like them as men. He want us not to do that, not to get up under that type of deceiver, that type of witchcraft and sorcery, because it's to make us see this creator to be something that he is not, instead of seeing him to be all power. Just imagine of seeing the Father as a spirit, and in him is all power. And when you say all power, no, he ain't been lifting no weights. He don't need to be buff. He don't need to come out and look like the flesh of a man. He don't have to do. See, he have all power without even going to the gym. Now, how you like him now? How you like him now? You see, he don't have to go out and work out. He is the workout itself. So we have to see him to be all let in some, because he is, whether you like it or not, whether you know him or not, it don't matter. To Deborah, it's just like to the point. It don't matter what nobody see my Ahia to be. As long as I know who he is, that's all that matters to me, especially because I see him for who he is. It's just like somebody trying to change a person to be the way that they want them to be. The Father said that's exactly the way the men have portrayed him. The men have portrayed him to be the way they say that he is. They want to tell you the way he think, he walk, he talk, he function, how he wear his hair, how he wear his beard, and they so ignorant. They don't understand in the spirit. All of that is not there. All of that is not there. So they then cranked up their whole idea of who he is because he has to be like they are. And when they do that, they want to make him out of a man. They want to put him in the same, because these are the sick ones, y'all. These are only these are the one I call very, very ill men that would say that the father had more than one wife. Y'all had more than one wife. Any man says that, he's sicker than sick. And you know what? One thing the father told me, I thought that was really, really, it's kind of cute though. It really is. He said, Deborah, when I son the deceiver, I said, but yeah, yeah, when I son them down, they can't be deceivers if they don't have those to deceive. And I gave him a lot of them. I was like, Father, you ought to quit. He said, the deceivers came down here to be deceivers. And when they came down here to be deceivers, he had to make sure he give them a lot to deceive. I started laughing. I start laughing because that's something you really, he's saying I son the deceivers down, Deborah, but I made sure they had many to deceive. So therefore, that's what you see today. Same thing with evil and wicked. He said, I created. Now listen to this. I created the wicked and evil for the days of wicked and evil. What are these days? The wicked and evil been here. He said the days of wicked and evil, meaning the wicked and evil even got their special days that's coming up. That's no, I ain't gonna say. Let me stop. That's actually happening, and it's they're performing worse and more and more. I put it like that. So they have to have those that's going to be on their side. See, when you really know him, you know him based on his power. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Because Jacob will tell you, I didn't see him like looking at an individual. I saw what he can do. When you come to know who he is and what he can do, all you have to do is look at everything you see in the world. That takes some power to do that. I was remembering 3 years ago, it's probably been 3 years or maybe a little over 3 years. I used to cry out on YouTube and telling people that these forest fires are not forest fires. These are lasers that's coming from space that man is needing to get rid of California, and this is their way of doing it, is running the wealthy people out of there. And lo and behold, when I heard these heathens start talking it and teaching, I was like, now see, I said that a long time ago. He said, because you was given that a long time ago. See, he said that which was in the dark shall come to the light in the last days. You see? So the Father is saying today, don't get out here and be thinking that you're waiting for something to see something. Because if you can't see, you cannot see what's going on. You cannot see the judgment of the Most High. You can't see the fire under his feet. You ain't who you think you are. Because he said, it's plainly seen, Deborah. That's what he was trying to help me with, not coming to the altar on the behalf of what the people continue to do. He was letting me know, I got this. I got this. Because I am the type of person, if I see something and it interferes with my spirit, okay, then I will go before the altar of the Most High or higher, and I say some things to him. And when I'm going there, I'm taking my whole self spiritual, you see, and I'm throwing it before the throne, saying, this is, this, and this is when he, bam, here he come. But he said, hold up, don't come, don't go to the altar. I got this. So what he's saying is, he's allowing many people, and he want me to say it like it is, a lot of these men, he's allowing them doing everything they want to do, everything that they are deceiving people to do, everything that they have mastered and they have felt that they are on top of this, and they got it this, and they walking upright. I sit and seen what is ICU them marching together. And I seen the large number of them on one accord. And I'm like saying, Father, how could they be so on one accord, be so off course? How could that be? He said that's how they were over in Israel. I mean, over in the promised land. That's how they were. They support wrongdoing, and that's why they can to march on one accord. He said they ain't marching for nothing righteous. They ain't marching for nothing spirit and truth. They ain't marching for nothing just. And I thought about that. That is so true. That is so. You don't see them marching for nothing. These heathens and these Gentiles are doing on the earth. They're wicked and evil. Go down there and march at Jenny's church and telling him he should tell the people who they are. Now, wait a minute. Hold up. You all come in this great number to march on your own brother. See, that's what the Father was saying. That's how they are. He said they ain't gonna come up out of that. That's why the brothers are killing their women so in great numbers, because there's enough of these Hebrew Israelite spirits out here that's wicked and evil and preaching and teaching these men to go up against hate these women to the point of doing what you desire to do to them in your heated anger, to where they do it out of their heated anger, because these men are telling them, and this is what the Father told me. He said there is a great connection to the Hebrew Israelite hate toward their women, these men, and what they're teaching. He said, but that's what make these men go out and they kill him by great numbers, because they figure she's property to them. And the system ain't got nothing to have nothing to do with it. Yeah, I can kill her. I can kill her and my kids. I'm the man of the house. I'm the king. He's saying that they have sunned those spirits out. They sunned the spirits out after the women and the daughters of Zion. He said they sunned those spirits out. He said they don't even understand, even when they say a woman is to keep quiet. He said, even saying that, that's sending them spirits out to men that, I mean, been on drugs, been on alcohol, and had all kind of problems mentally, all kind of issues in life. And they sending these things to these men and don't understand that. Now, when anything went down, he always allowed the women to go down with the ship. If the men was the ship and the women were on the ship, they went down with the ship. So the women that you see and you constantly keep seeing, and I keep saying to you all, it is off the chain. That was another reason I was going to the altar of the Most High. And he told me, no, back that thing down, stand down. It's because he's going to deal with them, but he's going to let them reach the highest limit, which he said they already at, but they don't know when he's coming. See, and they're gonna look up, and next thing you know, wicked and evil at its highest is going to be on their land, in their church, in their academies, in their camps, all kind of wicked and evil. Gonna roll up out of nowhere, and he said I'm gonna see it. He said it's gonna roll up out of nowhere on them, and they're not gonna be expecting it, because right now he said their state of mind is so embedded in their flesh to do their will, to where they can't even see that but they can't. Those that are deceivers are never going to see. But the others who are out here, that's not the deceivers, but those who thinking they are holier than thou, or they're walking in Ahia or Yahuwah or Yah, they thinking they're walking in Satan's category. So I see them in a purple, and all of them standing up, trying to act like they all that and all that. And I'm like, even Farrakhan, I notice even with him, there's no order. None of these organizations know how to put unity together. You join their clique and become unified with them. You see? And what men in their group, their leaders are teaching them. Find out that here is the Bible over here. Here is their group over here. They taking every verse out of the Bible and living it to their flesh. Well, where is the Holy Spirit? I thought that the Holy Spirit were to come. He was to come and teach us all things. That's the way I feel it. That's the way I got it. And I kid you not. I didn't get it because I was on YouTube at 4 years old. I got it because the Holy Spirit indulged himself in me and showed himself in me. You say, showed himself, proved himself. I remember talking to him and him talking to me back. How could I hear him back then? It had to be a spiritual a communication, because every time I came out of that basement, I felt good. So I knew then that, hey, I had a friend in a friend. You see? So what I wanted to say to you all, the Father said that no matter what, I want to show you something too, but no matter what it's going on, he said that it's clearly seen. That means now we can't talk like we don't know something. We can't talk like this is the first time we seen this here. Oh, look what they doing over here. Oh, look at this. He was telling me, Deborah, it's clearly seen. That tells Sister Deborah, guess what? Guess what? They know better. It's clearly seen. So what they doing, he said, they know that they're doing it. They know they're not serving the most high or higher. They know that they're not in the righteous will of the Father. They know that they're not walking upright and just. They know this. And this is what he's saying. So while you getting all uptight because the way you see them conducting themselves, the things you see them saying, but Deborah, they know what they saying. They know what they're doing. And I want to show you something that I have. This black guy came on here and he said this, and it kind of threw me off because I was like, now, Father, how do he know? How do this man know about this? Now, if he knows about this, what's wrong with these people over here that's talking about we the people, we this and we that, even though this is a brother? It's three brothers today that clicked in on what I could see and what I can hear. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold up. Who are they? Where did they come from? You see, it's just showing, Sister Deborah, you're not the only one, even though it feels like you are. Because you see 99.9 on this side going through the broad gate. And when you see one going through the narrow gate, you more so like, wait a minute, where he coming from? Where he going? But see, the fact is that you're not the only one. You're not the only one. And this came to me this evening. And I'm gonna share it with you all so you all can see this. Because when I saw it, I thought it was really okay. And I hope I can compromise the gospel. Worst of all, we turn the truth into a man-centered message. I need you to pay careful attention to this question and the answer that follows regarding the danger the modern church is facing. From your view, what is the strongest enemy the church faces today? I think it's idolatry in the form of man-centeredness. I think this dethroning of God. Now, I had to stop there because I know you all didn't get it. I know you didn't get what he said. He's saying the same thing I said on them 2 videos regarding polygamy. He said the same thing. Listen to what he says. This is he. Listen to what he said. Let me pull it up again for you. A man-centered message. What is the strongest enemy the church faces today? I think it's idolatry in the form of man-centeredness. I think this dethroning of God and this pragmatic utilitarianism that sees man and his desires at the center of all things, both inside the church and outside the church. And I'm reminded of Paul's words in 2 Timothy 4 about people wandering off into myths and no longer being willing to abide sound doctrine and accumulating for themselves teachers in accordance with their own desires.
And so you see this kind of, pragmatic utilitarian, what do the people want? What will draw a crowd? Which goes to our little ecclesiology, and which goes to our syncretism, and which goes to all these other things. And I think at the root of it, there is this endemic plague in our culture of man-centeredness, this desire to put man and his wants, his desires, his needs. When you look at the practical issues, when you look at same-sex marriage and things of this nature, what's the argument for that? If two people love each other, it's just man-centered. It goes back to what we want.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's what I see kind of as an epicenter of it all.
Yep, that he nailed it. He nailed it, and that's what I said on them two videos regarding polygamy. It's a thing. It, the Hebrew Israelites are conducting themselves and their ministry and every word that they're speaking, everything they're doing, their whole action built on how man. And this is what he said. It's a man-centered thing. He sees this to be. Now I'm like saying he speak on a lot of things, but what did he get? How did he know that? How did he? Because he's willing to tell the truth, you guys. That's why. It's a man-centered. When we see what is going on, you cannot see it in the natural, you guys. You cannot see it's clearly seen, the Father said, in the natural now. But I guess that's how this guy sees it. Because I'm like, wait a minute, how could they see that deep and still continue in it? They still continue in it. If it's plainly seen, then it's they just looking at themselves in their ways and how they are able to please people with the way they think and the way they feel. See, and he's saying the same thing I was saying in the polygamy. It's about man's feelings, about what they want, their desire, and they build up on everything, you guys, everything based on that flesh feeling. And that's what's going on today that made me want to go to the altar and say, okay, Father, I seen enough killing, I seen enough of everything, I seen enough heathens getting away with everything. I'm just, I need to come to your altar. Let me come, let me come. And he said, hold up, no, everything is plainly seen. So when people are turning around and following these men that's loaded with the ways of their flesh, it just does something to me. Like, Father, you mean to tell me the multitude would run after somebody speaking no spirit and truth, no righteousness, have no light in the front of them nor in the back of them? He said, yes, Deborah, if I son deceivers, then I have to send those that they can deceive. I said, but it's so great of a number. He said, but didn't I tell you the gate was narrow? I told you they weren't going to find it. Then I said, the broad gate was broadened. Many shall go when Deborah. Come on now. But it's like he said, it's about me being here, living this thing, seeing it for what it is, and calling it what it is. But this man did something to me, because when he was able to say exactly what I said on both of them videos, it's about the polygamy, is about the pleasure of a man's flesh. And he said, not just the pleasure of a man's flesh, but everything is being orchestrated out of the way of a man and not out of the way of Yah. So he was telling you about Benny Hill, Benny Hinn, Joyce Meyer, T.D. Jakes, Joe Epstein, all of them getting these multitude. Look how they leading this multitude of people. Same way with the Hebrew Israelites. They getting multitude of people to follow their flesh ways. So he's saying all of this, and then he's like Benny Hinn. He was throwing his towel, and everybody falling all out. And he was saying that he sees what they want, and he gives it to them. Why? It's all flesh. It's given, and that they want a circus. Let's give them a circus then. Bam! Let me throw towels and they fall all out. I don't even. It ain't got nothing to do with the Holy Spirit, you guys. That's why I say, even if you got a church, It ain't got nothing to do with the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh being in you nor your sanctuary. That's why people can sit up in their sanctuary and use profanity. That's how they can do it, because it's not a place of holiness. And the people so ignorant sit there and listen to people use profanity. He said we become new creature. Old ugly mouth passed away. We're supposed to be a new speaker. We're supposed to speak new things. But when you come up in there and you using profanity and using things that you shouldn't be using, that place, it can't be holy. And this is what's going on. That's not just at some churches, majority of them. That's why they let the pastors, the assistant pastors, the bishops, the apostles, they let them say what they want, think what they want, feel what they want, give them the wisdom of the flesh, the wisdom of the knowledge of the flesh, and the understanding of the flesh. And the people all sitting thinking they got the most high or higher, and don't even know a higher set your tail right on their pew so you can be up under them. You're there because that's where you were assigned. So that's why the prophetess is seeing it in great numbers. The people are, how would I say, flipping over the flesh of a man's ways. And yes, yes, and yes in him, and agreeing with him, because of how you said, if I'm going to send the deceivers, I'm going to send those that he shall be able, them, him, her, can deceive. So that made sense. So what he's saying today is everything is plainly seen. It's nothing hidden, you guys. It's nothing hidden over in this place, over here. He says everything plainly seen. If you can't see it, that's on you. You ain't got what it takes to see. You ain't got what it takes to hear. Because he said right now we in the last hour, running up on the minutes. And if you can't see, you can't hear now, you ain't gonna see, nor are you gonna hear. That's what he was also saying all this time when he's saying he's finished. Because I'm not finna go come down, and I'm not finna send you this. You either take what I've sent to you, or you gonna sit down and go with those that's sent here to deceive you. You got two choices. You either go on the servants of the Most High or higher, or you go on the servants of man that claim to be the Most High or higher and ain't feeding your spirit nor your flesh, just giving you its fleshly opinion. You see? So he's saying that everything is clearly seen. So Sister Deborah can't go getting up and call herself running to the Father because this, they doing this, they doing this. Oh, Father, you see how many then killed their babies. Oh, Father, you see how many then killed their mother. You see how many of these men then killed their mother and their father. Father, I got a phone call before I got on YouTube and said to me, do you see all these men out here killing? And there was a man. There was a man. He said, Sister Deborah, do you see all these men out here killing their mothers? I said, you just not seeing it? No, but it's just off the chain. You don't really understand it, because a lot of people don't get on here, and it's a good thing too, to see all that type of stuff. But if you just strolling along and you see all this right there before you, the Father said nobody ain't gonna even escape it. Not seeing it, not seeing these things going on. He said ain't gonna be no escape way, because it's gonna be right dead in your face for you to see. That's what he's saying today. It's clearly seen. So if you're gonna follow the flesh of a man, you're gonna be following him with your eyes, your natural eyes, that allow you to clearly see his natural butt. Okay? And if you want to follow him with your natural ears, you keep following him with your natural ears so you can hear his natural big mouth lie to you and deceive you. See, and this is what is going on. And that's all over the place. Okay? Now, one thing he was saying that, another thing he said that I was mentioning to the Father today about how is it that they search for messages from, I mean, you all, let me show you how sick destroyed the minds are of our now I ain't gonna say our, let me stop that. Let me show you how gone the minds are from the Israelite men standpoint, and from black men period here in this country. They equipped to fight the issues way back. And that's why they can't deal with the issues today, you guys. I'm like saying, but Father, what about these issues before them? Do they not see it? Deborah, I told you it's clearly seen. But why are they way in the back talking about what George Washington owed them? I'm like, and I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm like, Father, what's the what wait a minute, wait a minute. Can't they just go crazy and just be crazy and get on somewhere and sit out? No, You're gonna see this thing exactly what I said. They're destroyed here, Deborah. And they're not gonna even know that they're destroyed. And they're destroyed. They've been destroyed for a long time. Now, what is actually going to take place is Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25. They're going to lose, like right now. The reason why I wanted to go to altar, because I see a lot of people losing their lives. Okay. And I'm trying to piece this thing together. But wait a minute, Father, wait a minute, hold up, hold up. There's too many of them going out. He said, but Deborah, you ain't seen nothing yet. So that's why you need to stand down. I ain't finished yet. The judgment is the sword of death. I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold up now, hold up. It has to be. It can't be no other judgment, y'all. Ahia ain't bringing no other judgment outside of the judgment of death. And that's what he's trying to get me to see. That's why he says stand down. It's almost like saying, get out of my way. I know what I'm doing. And I'm like, but wait a minute, Father, they doing this. But yeah, see, you seeing it in the flesh and in the spirit. I seen it in the heavens. I put a time period on it, Deborah. So my judgment is there. It's just that they standing it. They standing it, you guys. They're standing up. Listen to this. How could you be now worried about reparations and who's over in Africa? Who's our people over in Africa? How can we get our people over in Africa to know who we are over here? Stuff that don't mean nothing, y'all. Why? Because the hour in which we are in, this is not a time to be going so far back talking about who Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We can't even go back to that, y'all. We have to press forward to the what? The mark of the what? The high calling. And if he said, how you going to, let me tell you exactly what he said to me. He said, Deborah, how you going to find the gate that leads to life if you're going backwards? The gate that leads to life is forward. Going backwards is wicked and evil because you're going to get caught up in the storm. You're going to get caught up with that sword and you're going to lose your fleshly life and subject to lose your spiritual life along with it because there's nothing in you, spirit and truth. So he's saying to me, if I'm telling you, Deborah, to stay in your lane, keep running, you're running forward. Why would I want you to run backwards into the storm? And that's their mindset, you guys. They so busy trying to find trash in the back that they can't even see forward because so much darkness is in their eyes and their ears are loaded with wax. They can't hear spirit and truth. They don't even know what a light is because they sit in darkness and they try. Why are you trying? Now listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. Why would you be trying to battle, to fight, to have black history in the history books and in schools? What is it going to teach your children if you ain't teaching them nothing? Huh? He said, train them up. And if you ain't training them up in him, why do you insist on giving the leeway to the heathens? It's just like people saying, oh, they took the Bible out of the church, out of the schools. It's a good thing they took the Bible out of the schools because they weren't going to teach it under spirit and truth. They weren't going to teach it under righteous no way. So take it out. Why do you want them to teach your kids black history? Get your darn tail up and teach heathen mindset? Talking about what the governor told them they cannot teach black history. So what? Teach yours black history. Why do you insist on want to prove something to the heathens? Why? Why is it we working so extra hard to try to show our rear end to the heathens? We're so busy trying to show our rear ends to the heathens. And it's sad. Here we are in the midnight hour of the Most High Ahia, and we around here trying to prove ourselves to the heathens. Why are we trying to get reparations? Don't you know the power of Yah owns it all? When you get ready to get your tail out here, his right hand gonna deal with that. Why is it we as a people? To me, I don't care what nobody say. We are a people that's been slow. We've been had issues, baby. Because once he gave us that land floating with milk and honey that he promised Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, guess what? We went over there cutting up from the floor up. It's always been something wrong with us. Always. And here we are today. Oh, they say they can't teach black history in this. They weren't teaching it right, no way. They didn't teach black history to us, no way. So why are we wanting them to go right back into the system, teach our children and their children their way of black history again? It doesn't make sense. This is what I try to explain to you. All of this about this has to do with your men. This has to do with where they're at here, where they're at in wicked and evil. They don't want to teach nothing. They don't want to make sure their schools are up, their academies are up, their what is it used to after school programs for the children, buildings are up to order for their children, things that can affect your children today. What's the sense of going to school and hear what the white man has to tell you? Because it's going to be his book. He going to put the black history in. It's going to be his way. Just like the Bible. It's going to be his way, the white man's way of teaching the Bible in your schools. So yeah, get it out of the schools. You didn't teach us right, no way. And you still got Negroes talking about, oh, when they took the Bible out of the schools. The Bible don't belong in your schools. The Father said, you train your children up regarding me. He didn't tell you take them somewhere else so they can learn who he is. It starts in the home with a man. And they don't even understand when you stand before him, that's going to be one of the biggest judgment that you never even expected. But he already told me. He's going to judge them on the sons and daughters that he gave them. Because when he gave it to them, he gave them the sons and daughters so that they may teach them of him. Yep. You see how they messed up? But yet they can go out here and learn these songs and listen to all this rap, smoke these drugs and what's that porno and all this robbing and smoking weed and dope. Ain't taught your children nothing but running down here wanting them to put black history in the schools. What you want them to put black history in the schools? They ain't never taught you black history. And if they're gonna put it in there, it ain't gonna be on your behalf to tell the truth of anything. I'm gonna set another example. Just like they talking about reparations, saying San Francisco is giving reparations, but it ain't got nothing to do with the slave trade. They couldn't give you reparations based on you coming over here on a ship. Yeah, so the Hebrew Israelite is they got some mental issues. I mean, really stone hard core mental issues. Cause they don't understand if you go. Okay, tell you what. When did the Father tell Moses and Aaron to go tell Pharaoh, give them reparation? Tell me. Okay, let me give you another one. When Sarah and Abraham went into this one place, and they said that she was her sister, She was his sister. Pretend she was his sister. And when the king was really about to go into Sarah, not in that, I don't know if it was in that hour or in that minute, but the father visited him and told him that she's some man, she's not, she is a wife to some man, to Abraham. And what did the man do? When the father finished dealing with him one on one, what did he do? He went and told them to give them everything they can possibly give him. Give Abraham. You see, how you don't need these darn Negroes going to nobody talking about give us reparations. You ain't got sense enough to even sit and take care of your own children. Won't even mow the lawn. Won't clean up your community. Every community that we have is raggedy. And talking about Martin Luther King Street, it's raggedy because you tore it up. We show our ugliness. We show our sick minds. And the reason why we so deeply wicked and evil is because here the Father saying, Deborah, it's clearly seen how we are killing each other. I ain't gonna say mean, but how they are out there killing each other, just like they did when they was in the promised land. Like what the Father say, Deborah, they was shedding blood like that in the promised land. That's why I got their butts out, profaning the Father's name, polluting the land. He got their tails out of there. Same thing they do in this country here. And we lying, talking about they doing this to us. They doing this. And it's all due to our men. When y'all finish running y'all mouth, it's all due to them. I looked up yesterday all those verses where the Father, I wanted to see what is it with the Father and the mother and the children. And all them verses telling the men, you do this, you do this, you do this. If you don't, they're going to make it hard on mother. They're going to hurt the heart of mother. They're going to do this to the mother. They're not going to follow the law of the law of the mother. You know, just telling them men if you don't do this and they didn't done. You go back to that Bible, you'll see none of the things they done. And it's amazing how people would get on these devil platforms and don't want to hear it. It is sad because they are predestined to follow in the deceiver's lane, the one that's out to deceive them. They have to run to that lane where they belong. They uncomfortable over here with Sister Deborah is talking. It's too uncomfortable. And it's supposed to be uncomfortable because you don't belong over here. You're supposed to go over in your lane. And you need to stay over in your lane because that's the lane where the deceivers have been taking you. And that's all right now you can even digest. It's the water that the deceivers are giving you. You were made for them and they were made for you. And that's why many would not even want to touch the rim of what Sister Deborah said because they don't want to, because it's too much light in it and they love darkness. You know how many verses telling you the reason why they don't want light is because they love darkness. They love the ways of the flesh. And that's what that man was saying. That is identical what he was saying. It's a man's, they have made everything out of the flesh of man, the desire and the pleasure of man. And that's how polygamy got in. Polygamy is nothing to do with the Father. It is nothing in it righteous. It's the pleasure of man's righteousness. You get it? It's his pleasure. So that's why it brings righteousness to him. And they will stand on any mountain and continue to proclaim it because Ahia has given you that spirit of wicked and evil that you may serve one another. So you wonder why you go into Joyce Meyer church, places she go, and she has 2,000 and 3,000 people she's ministering to. You go to Joe Osteen, and he got thousands that he's ministering to. This is why, y'all. You go to the Pope, people bowing down to him because y'all don't understand. The gate that leads to what is righteous is going to be narrow. People are already assigned to their destiny. And that's a beautiful thing That's a beautiful thing. Is that the Father has allowed him to everybody to go in the area of which he has predestined in them. They were already predestined to bow down to the Pope. They were already predestined to follow Job Epstein, Osteen, or whatever his name. It was okay for Benny Hinn. Thousands come to his crusades, especially a lot of us bowing down to him like he's a god. TBN and all, Paula White, all of those are Satanism. People that worship Satan. But do it stop the multitude? No, it doesn't stop them because Ahiah said, it is now, Deborah, clearly seen. And if you all continue your life not seeing it, it's because you belong over in that lane in which they are in. So you need to find the lane in which you need to go to. Because let me tell you, it's many of them. And this is what this man was saying. The reason why it's so many like that is because they made it a flesh thing. And that's what Sister Deborah was coming with when she was speaking about polygamy. Yes, there's many scriptures telling you that is not of Yah. It is not, because it's something that they created in their flesh. And because he's not in the Bible saying, well, don't be doing this, don't be having wives, and don't be, because he ain't nailing all of that. Don't mean that it is righteous. And he okayed it. You see? But he left it right there for those who live that lifestyle to cater to their flesh. And when they cater to their flesh, they cannot cater to the spirit of Yah. And then they get to this is where they really went low. Is when they turn around and say, well, Yah had more than one wife. You see, if that's not Satan, if that's not Satan in the garden, if that's not Satan in the garden, I don't know who is. And a lot of times it's not Satan. A lot of times it's just those who are wicked and evil and came down here to entertain with Satan. You see? Because that's what a deceiver, he comes down. Ahia have sent many of them. And that's why, and they look at it as, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this. Now I know I'm in there with Ahia. Beyonce is too then. Jay-Z. And I hate to keep using them because before them, all these heathens and Gentiles that's under all this here Satanism and witchcraft and this child mess, porno and all this other mess that they're doing. All of them lining up. So cause they have, that makes them fall under the righteous will of Yah. See, this is what I was saying to you all. They're gone. They're gone from the inside out, meaning their spirit don't have the spirit of Yah. And see, what a lot of them don't understand is this. The Father would give you the ability. He would allow you to have the ability to show people miracles, signs, and wonders. When he see that you so rooted deeply in yourself, in your flesh, and these people are seeing you to be the God, okay, I give you a little something to show them you they God. And then one perform, and then they be saying, "Woo, I know he's from the man of Yah. I know he the man of God." That's how they look at the Pope. Same way. They down there bowing down to him. And they about thousands and thousands bowing down. Some of them kissing his feet, some of them kissing his hand. And he said, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to be bowing down. But they do it. Don't you know that the Father knew all this? He knew that the Pope is a part of Satanism. Oh, you need somebody to come on your side. Okay, it's be many coming over there. So just hold on. You have a whole thousands. So just hold on. You're gonna get yours. That's why you see the wicked and evil. The judgment of the most high or higher that was prophesied that would come. It's been here. It's been here. But now the foot is on fire of the most high or higher. So that leads me to understand when I'm seeing all these things. This is why, Deborah, I'm not playing. And he says, ain't seen nothing. This year, you ain't seen nothing. And you know what, our people, guess what's happening? You all ain't even paid it no attention, but our numbers of us has ceased greatly. And they too ignorant to see that because they caught up in their flesh churches. They caught up in their flesh camps. They're caught up in their flesh academies. They caught up in their flesh cults. Cult. They caught up in the Jim Jones cult, like cult that they be have cult. How does it cults? Then they caught up in those things that they can deceive people in, and they stuck in it, and they loving it. They loving it and thinking y'all coming for them. One way you know for sure, let me tell you one way you know, is when the father sitting, he say to me, he said, Deborah, it's plainly seen. Everything is clearly seen. And it is. And the more I think about him saying that, and I'm like, well, why is it in me like that, Father? He said, because you're seeing it in the flesh and you're seeing it in the spirit. See, that's why. With them, they cannot see. And I never waste time giving them the spiritual and truth, nor the light to see. They love darkness too much. So they can't even see that everything is clearly seen, even who they are. Now, I took out probably a good 45 minutes and I was looking at how many of the people in which people idolize and worship. They idol and worship. You know, the famous people, the sports teams, and the guys that play sports, the women that sings, and men that sing rap and everything. He said, look how they idol them to be something. All the wickedness they know about all of them, all the wickedness that they know about. Guess what? It doesn't bother them. They still cater to them, still see them to be up here. No matter all the wickedness that they are performing. Look at Beyonce, the way she performing. Look at that. And look at many of them. Will Smith. I always knew before I left Atlanta. I always knew because it was a spiritual knowing. Will and Smith and Jada was mixed up in a lot of that Satanism and sexual sickness. Always did. But the whole world would love them. The whole world would cater to them. It's amazing. It is amazing how wicked it's like glue to people. People glue to it. And what he's saying, but Deborah, guess what? The key to it is plainly seen. See, you seeing it and you running to me, telling me like I don't see it. What do you think about all of them out there now? It's plainly seen. So what you see in the spirit and in the natural, they see it for what it is in their fleshly eyes, but they see it clearly for what it is. And all of this killing each other. Famous people connected to other famous people lives, being partaker in this. I sit back and this is what I'm saying, y'all. I see that it was at ICU, them marching. Why are you marching on Gino Jennings? Why ain't you marching on those who killed Michael Jackson or those who killed? You want to march on something. See, they don't march on anything unjust, unrighteous. They got the mark on somebody weak. And that's why I do not like a lot of these people on this devil platform. They like to go after the small numbers, or not the small numbers, those that they can be seen going after them like they somebody. You see? And a lot of it is so wicked and evil. And then you got some men that go after females. And I'm like saying, if that's not something demonic in that individual, it used to be a time when men wouldn't even give the time of day with this he say she say. Now it's he say, he say, he say, he say, he say, he say. That's all you see now. That's all you hear now. And they don't see nothing wrong with it. They think it's the thing. I ain't never in my life seen so many weak of the weakest men have not set an example for nothing in spirit and truth, nor in the light. And you know Ahia ain't weak if he got all power. So what's the deal with them? What's going on? Wicked and evil, y'all. The Father say again, everything is plainly seen. Now, if anybody in the live chat, do you have any questions? Sister Deborah is not going to hold you all too long. If anybody have any questions, this is the time you can bring your questions. So yeah, yeah, they don't care. It's like the evil is in. We want to be on the side where it's wicked and evil and all this here, perverted, and then have the audacity to talk about the gays. I don't get it. How can you? I just don't get it. You all talking. Yep, I heard of that name. I heard that. Hmm. Yep, it's deep. It's real bad. It is really bad. It's so bad out here. The Father told me, hold up, it's all well. But what I believe He's also saying to me is there's going to be a. You just keep your eyes open. I think that's what He said to me. You just keep your eyes open. You're gonna see me. I want you to stand down though. Stay in your lane. I got this. I really believe we about to see something. And now see what I already seeing is a high limit. I already see a lot of it. So what he's going to do is going to be off the chain. You're going to see a lot of these people. You're going to see a lot of things. I put it like that. I, I believe it's you can put your children in school. I think and whatever they don't get at school, you can teach them also at home. You see, where they weak at, that's what home is for. When you teach them from home and give them what they need to know who God is, the fear of the of Yah, instill the fear of Yah in them, they'll be okay. Very sensitive. Where to me, a lot of the gays are sensitive. Whole lot of them. Those males, oh man, and that's how the men act today. And that's why I say there's got to be something that's going on that's deeper than what we can even see because the, I can see and discern all this emotions and feelings and sensitivity that these men have today. They don't have the masculine or the boldness or the stand up, type of guy for what is righteous. They just is bent. Yeah, I homeschooled my children too, but I didn't homeschool them all the way through because they need that action. I mean, interacting with others. Um, now, I think I would allow them to go to school. I would allow them to go to school because they need that because they get stressed out being at home. They really would, and I think it's really good that they get out. Home is there. Home got to be made a place called home. You see, to where they can bring. And another thing, like with mine, they told me everything. They did. So what I used to do, I used to cook dinner. Make sure I had dinner. We all ate at the table. It wasn't no such thing. You eat in your room. No, you eat in the living room. No, no, no. We all ate at the table. And that was the time where they were able to say, well, what happened at school, what happened that day, what happened at the bus stop. So that was a to hear. couldn't talk because I was leaving that space for them to just open up and say what they had to say at the table. And even though sometimes you be wanting to say, no, you didn't. What? But you have to keep quiet because you want to always have that time period where they can just open up and just say what they got to say about what they day was like, who did what and whatever. You'll find out a lot of things that way. Yeah, it just you don't know what's going you but it had to be like he said in Isaiah 3, in the chapter 3, he talks about how Judah has fallen, and that consciousness of like Sodom. And I'm like saying, what you mean? And he said they're not ashamed. See, they walking around here acting and conducting their feelings and their emotions just like women, and they not ashamed. And the homosexuals, you see them, they're not ashamed at all. And Isaiah chapter 3 nailed it. It told you how they are toward Yah. Let me get it. What they are toward Yah. So if they are like this toward Yah, what do you think they are to us? See why they trying to make us think that we're less of the less and they all this and that. And then the father was dealing with me again today on um, how everything is off out of order. He said everything he have ever done, because he was showing me yesterday about, you see how mother was connected to father? I said, sure is. He says that shows you they took away from the perfect will. Because everything I told the father to do with the children, it was always mother there connected. And he did. He has mother and the father connected so the children can know that these two, the father is the head, the mother is also there, because he talked about the mother giving the mother's law and the mother's he talked about the mother's order. Oh yes, he talked about that, and it's all in there. That's why I say when they escaped out of Genesis 1 and 2, they can put, when sin came, they put anything to take the place of it. They don't care. Now here you go. In Isaiah chapter 3, it says, in that day, see, when he said in that day, he's just letting you know, in this day we in, watch this here, shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. That's these young men. That's what these men are doing. These young men is telling them, don't make us nothing. We ain't got no money. Listen to, we ain't got no clothing. We ain't got food. You ain't finna put us over the people. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Trying to tell the young people, when you can be, you a king, you a leader, you a ruler. Go to Isaiah chapter 3. All up in Isaiah chapter 3, that's what the men were, the men of the house of their fathers were doing with the young men. They trying to bring them into the form of, you're a king, you're a leader, and you're a ruler. But then when you get down to verse 7, Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 7, in that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be a healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. See, they grabbing these men and making them thinking they kings and leaders and rulers, and they ain't crap in this day. You ain't crap in this day. You ain't crap in this day. You in the land of your captivity. So how you gonna run up? You know why? The only one they run up on is the women. You try run up on your children and bring them up in the fear of Yah. You can't do that, can you? Nope. Nope. You want to run up to so that the women won't be able to stop y'all from doing the things y'all not supposed to be doing to these children. See, that's where the problem is at, and to the things you ain't got no business doing, period. And that's why they want women to keep their mouths closed, to tell the truth and shame the devil. Because they don't want you to open your mouth, because they're afraid what you might say, righteous might step out. They're afraid of that justice might step out. So they want you to keep your mouth shut. Now, see, this is in Isaiah chapter 3. And here it is. And verse 6 said, when a man shall take hold of his brother and of the house of his father, saying, this is what he gonna say, thou hast no clothes, but thou be thou our ruler, and let you reign be under thy hand. See, let him be the king, let him be the ruler. See, why are you trying to make them be these young men be that? Because you done messed up from the floor up and ain't done what you supposed to do as a man. Now you trying to make them something that they know they ain't gonna be. Why ain't you the king? Why ain't you the ruler? Why ain't you the leader? And if you are, you know it's wicked and evil behind your rulership. And this is what Isaiah is saying. But then he said, listen to this. In verse 8, it says, for Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen. See, the Father know what's going on because their tongue and their doing are against Ahiah to provoke the eyes of his glory. Now watch this here. To provoke the eyes of his glory. That's those that's out here that is Yah's glory, and their eyes are being provoked by these men like this here. These type of men. Now watch this here. Verse 9, and show of their countenance do it witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their spirits, for they have reward evil unto themselves. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. And see right here, what does it say? Say ye to the righteous. They say this mess to the righteous one, that it shall be well with him, that they can do whatever they wanted to do. You don't know who you standing in the midst of. You better watch yourself. And this is the same righteous person right here that wanted to go to the altar of the Most High this morning on their tails. And this is, he's sitting here telling you how they going to conduct themselves. And they have done that. I have seen that. I see it all the time. Telling these young men they kings and they rulers, and they going out here killing these women like crazy because you telling them they rulers, they kings, they leaders. And that's the way y'all want them to be. They've been lying to these young men. They lying to them. And they going to continue to lie to them, to every last one of them in the grave. And this is where he said in Isaiah chapter 25, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. So they're going to get their tails tore up from the floor up. So not only are they going to go here gone, it's gone already. But their lives going to be left here in Babylon. They ain't taking their tails nowhere. And a lot of people running around here talking about the dry bones. They need to sit their tails down. The dry bones is for the whole army of David. He ain't finna bring them people that's like they are and been like they are out of the grave and let them continue. No. You've been wicked all the time in the days that he's given you. Why he's gonna bring you? He's gonna bring you back up. People don't think that was in the spirit when he gave Ezekiel talk to Ezekiel about the dry bones. And in the spirit, this is the plan to bring them dry bones up. But you best bet it ain't the Israel that y'all think. And that's how they are. They ain't gonna come from out of that. So when I'm thinking I'm going to put it before the altar, he said no, it's plainly seen, Deborah. I said so it's kind of helping me out to realize that it's so plainly seen that he said that they doing it and they know they doing it. They being who they flesh is, and that's why it was good to hear that man say that. That was really good to hear him say that. That was perfect because he broke it down to that Gentile. He broke it all the way down. He said they living in the flesh. And that's what they want to. They want to bring Yah to that too, you guys. They want to bring Yah under the flesh realm. Use a lie from the pit of hell. He's not flesh. So go on and deceive those he have given you to deceive. Because they already deceived. He gave you enough for you to deceive. Because you are a deceiver. Now get somewhere and sit down. No, that ain't good enough. You still need some more. Oh, he gonna give you some more. He gonna give you all that you need so that you can deceive. Anybody that's running around here trying to find out about yesterday, your tail better find out where you at today. Because the prophecies is not telling you to run backwards. It's telling you to move forward. Who runs a race running backwards? What is you going to gain to know everything that took place in the back in the back and don't know a darn thing in the front? You can't even see the light because you got so much darkness. You can't discern spirit and truth because spirit and truth couldn't find anything in you worth wanting to abide in to teach you righteousness and spirit and truth. And it's a sad thing. It's a real sad thing because I see exactly what he's doing. He is destroying them. That's what he's going to do. See, Sister Deborah thought, okay, if they mentally destroyed, okay, their spirit going to get right, and maybe their spirit go, no, it ain't going to get no, it ain't going to be no getting right, he said. Ain't going to be no getting right. He said everything is clearly seen. Just, and it matches what he said in time past. It's over. It's finished. And everything is clearly seen. What the heathens doing, what the Gentiles are doing, what Hebrew Israelites are doing, what Negroes are doing, what Russia, everybody, the Father say everything is clearly seen. All you have to do is see it and believe it once you see it. Hear it and believe it once you hear it. Because what people are saying, oh, well, no, I don't believe that. Oh, I don't agree with that. I did something that was really crazy. I know I shouldn't have done it. They are coming over here and to watch the football game Sunday. And they're going to come over here and they're going to watch the Super Bowl too. But they coming over here to watch the game uh, uh, Sunday. And I sat there and I was explaining to them, do y'all understand that the game is rigged? I said, I knew it 18 years ago. It's set up. And y'all just excited about the game and ain't nothing in it legit. They already know who's going to win before they go out on the field. It's always back behind the scene that already has orchestrated everything. And I realized, Deborah, let them enjoy the game. They don't need you to tell them that. Just let them enjoy the game. You have to be able to enjoy something. And let me tell you something. When the Father have said that he is finished, that was one sign to realize you ain't got no business going up under nobody that's not living in spirit and truth. Those that's living in darkness is out there trying to get those that are living in spirit and truth and walking in light to come up under them. That's what they really trying to do. Because all the ones that don't have spirit and truth, they already gone to their side. Which where they going? They already, but they trying to get to make themselves look so legit, so those who are walking in spirit and truth can come and abide with them. So they can tear the light out of you, that they can degrade what spirit and truth in you, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. These people don't have no spirit of Yah in them. Because if they did, they'd be trying to tackle other issues outside of what's way in the back. They'll be out here trying to make sure certain things are ready for their own people as a nation. Only thing they making sure is ready is that the grave is ready to put you in, because they shooting you and killing you and stabbing you up and down. And when I see this here, let me tell you, I'm like, these people are gone, ain't they, Father? He said, the small remnant is all I'm coming for, Deborah. And whatever's left up in the rectum of her, they're gonna remain there. And it's not gonna be very many, because they're gonna be and killed each other off. And I really believe that. We sit here talking about what the police doing and the white people doing to us. This where I know that we are mentally gone. We are, you're talking about schizophrenia, whatever that is, and all this here bipolar and all this mess. It ain't got nothing on the lost mind of Israel in Deuteronomy 28 end game. Until they are destroyed, they are gone, because they ain't doing nothing whatsoever outside of destroying each other. Now, if you're destroying each other and killing each other, and you don't want to tell them to stop the wicked and evil. Wait a minute, the Father's coming for us, and we're going to the promised land. No, they ain't teaching these people that. They teaching them, let's get all your money so I can build a farm and build a place for you so you can live heaven on the earth. Anytime somebody is building on the earth, trying to get ready, baby, please. You're supposed to be getting the people ready for the coming of the most high higher taking us up out of here. They're not doing that. There are many that's even within their families sitting back and got everything ready and waiting and getting on the devil platform and telling you, I told you, you should get what I got. You should do what I do. But then you go back to Deuteronomy 28. What does it tell you? You go back to other verses. What does it tell you to do that? Does it tell you that you're going to be the only one he's coming for because you didn't took everybody else's money and got some wealthy people in your camp and took their money and deceived them? Then they needed to be deceived. Anybody that let people deceive them, they needed to be deceived. That's what this one guy said to me. He said that to me last week. He sure he said that the empire said something, called something before it even was, and they let him get away with it. I was like, and he was so this guy was so mad. He said, "You noticed, Miss Deborah? You noticed this is set up." He said, "Now how could you do that?" He was mad because I guess that was his team. It's a form of entertainment, yeah. Oh, dude, yeah, and they just trying to hurt, and our women out there fighting everywhere you go. They waiting. This one lady I saw, uh, the ICU camp, whatever, was talking to her daughter. Why was her daughter out there listening to her? Daughter went and got mama. Mama came back with her mama. And they was, oh, and I saw a generation. Then they left and she went and brought her husband. Do you know that lady went and got this big old axe? It was like a hammer. It wasn't an axe. It was a big old, out of her trunk to go up against them guys. I was like, woman, if they take that from you, what would happen to you if they take that from you when you coming up on them like that? And she was going up on them. And I was like, you asking to end your life right where your daughter's at and your mama. Y'all got y'all tails out here acting a fool. Them people ain't even bothering you all, and you all out there trying to. And it's just sad video and see this is sort of stuff they we get. And I'm trying to figure out, looking at her mama, talking about, don't you ever mess with my daughter and say those things to my daughter. She wear what she wanted. She did it. Then she went and got her husband, and her husband went saying, talking about they pedophiles because they was reading the Bible out to them, and it was just so. It was just showing us. That's just to me showing it, and the child and the daughter and the son looking like, oh, look how mom and daddy acting a fool, and granny out here acting a fool with us. So how is that gonna stop them from being like you? Except for they gonna lose their life, and you probably will too when you come after somebody, because you showing your daughter you can go into your trunk and get that big old metal axe out on them men. You shouldn't do that. The men is not threatening your life. They ain't bothering you. What is that all about? You gonna pull that thing one too many times, you going down, mama and daughter. And this is a sad thing. Was it in Detroit where the cousin had been in jail most of his life for a murder? He got out and had been out, I think, like 3 or 4 years. And his cousin let him come stay with them, her, and she was 71 years old. And she had a son and a daughter. A son was 40 something, the daughter was 34. And then his friend, they was all. Do you know that man went and killed all of them? Killed them, what you call real good. The mother, the grandmother, his cousin that let him move with him, she's still living, but I think she been shot like 3 times. I mean, he shot him up and ran into the woods. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's mm-mm-mm-mm. And how do we expect somebody to respect us? I don't get it. How do we expect? Why ain't we? This is the question. Why ain't we preparing our mental state, even though it's gone, and our physical state of mind and our mental for Yah coming? Why ain't we looking for Him and praising Him and desiring Him to come get us? Instead, we out here taking each other's. Yeah, I can't even see it no more. That's just how bad it is. It just, I don't have nothing else to say. Yeah, I really feel that it is. And I think that's what he was saying to me. But I think he's about to do something. So if you all start to see a lot of stuff where a lot of people that you wouldn't have never thought that's going to come down, they got to start falling. They got to. Because I think that that's where we're at. And we're looking for, really, we are really looking for all the wrong things. And I really believe that. And he said everything is plainly seen. So that means if we thinking that he's coming to make things easy for us and better, you better look at what you can plainly see, is what he said. Open your eyes so you can see. I'm not playing. You see what's going on. That's what he said. It's clearly seen. So if you're looking for something outside of that, then that's on you. Because most people are looking for the things that satisfy them in their flesh. And with Sister Deborah say that all the time, it's because that's the reality of all of these religions. That's the reality of all these cults and these Jim Jones groups and these Baptists, these Jehovah Witness, these Protestants, these Catholics. All of them is playing a game. All of them is it's all about a game, and everybody is playing a game out of their group. They playing a game. And the Hebrew Israelites, oh man, whew, you would think we should be the people on the earth that should be trying to show or be in the light and follow the will of the Father. But no, the majority of us is doing the opposite. And we talking about what the white man doing to us. That's the part that gets me. How can a white man be doing so much to you and you and your nations are doing so much to each other in plain view and then having their say the white man messing with you? Hmm. I appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat. I'm going to end now. This little old lady, and I guess I will be back, little old lady. But I will say that it's been a blessed day. I can't complain. Um, it's just that I get tired of seeing what is actually taking place. But he told me just hold on just a little while longer. Just a little while longer. And I know in it it's going to be what's the victory of it all. So I say, you all have a wonderful evening and be blessed. So I, Sister Deborah, say, shalom and shalom.